Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to talk about the playoff games, and if I can get both of the wild card games, that would be great. But first, let's talk about Chargers Ravens. Chargers completely destroyed the Ravens at the beginning, and then a lot of people want Flacco to come in, just like me, but Flacco did not come in. That Flacco got pissed about, but then Lamar Jackson went out and almost came back in the game. But then Jackson fumbled, and then he got the ball, and then the Chargers won. And on the Chargers side of things, nothing went bad that game. At the end of the game, they needed to pick it up on defense, but nothing went wrong. Gates had a good game. He's really old, but he had a nice game today. Rivers had a nice game. It wasn't an amazing game, but it was a good enough game. So now, the Chargers advance to Foxborough, where that will be a close game because you have Rivers that never beat Brady in a playoff game or a regular season game. And Brady's won all those games. So Rivers was not the only one that won that game. Gordon, he helped that game. You had some good throws, some good catches. And that was the Charger side of things. Now, going on the Ravens side of things. Ravens had a nice game overall. At the beginning, they were slow. Ravens cannot start off slow. They have to understand that it's a playoff game. I know the team's young. Jackson never played in a playoff game before. I think that was a bad coaching decision to keep Jackson in when they were down 20-3. I think that Flacco could bring them back from that deficit and win the game. But Jackson tried his best. He was coming into that drive where the Ravens scored their first touchdown. Coming into that drive, they were coming in that drive, and Lamar Jackson has fumbled 2 times. He's only thrown a pass for 8 yards. It was just a horrible game. The defense for the Ravens, you can't let that happen. You're playing a team, and I understand field goals were a big factor. 4 field goals were kicked by this Chargers kicker. And both defenses played really well, I can say. The Chargers defense at the end started getting low. But it was a good all-around effort. I knew that game was going to be close, and I wanted the Chargers to win that game. And I'm now 3-1 on my playoff games because I wanted Seattle to win. I wanted what was that game? The Colts to win. I wanted the Chargers to win, and we'll get into that game maybe later, possibly in the video. If the title is called Wildcard Matchups, last wildcard matchups that can, so that game is just a good game all around. So now that Chargers moving on to Foxborough, now let's talk about that Eagles-Bears game. That was a big game. So the Eagles-Bears game was nuts. That was crazy. Foles had a nice game. It was a slow start. Bears had the lead. They scored a touchdown. We're going good. And then the last play, they called a timeout. They iced the kicker. He hit the crossbar. It was just amazing how he played. Not how he played. How that happened. That was just completely crazy. I thought the Eagles' chances were over. There's no more playoffs. But now, it's not. The Eagles are moving on to New Orleans, and the Bears are staying home. And the thing with that is, like, the Houston Colts game, it's like, to say, you go home, but Texans didn't have to go home. They were already home. The Ravens-Chargers game, the Ravens were already home. And then the same thing with this. Bears were already home. But I'm just, like, amazed that game was... I don't think they're winning next week because they're in New Orleans. And that's a big game. And Allen Robinson had a nice game for Chicago. Cody Parker, whatever. He was a former Eagle and former Dolphin. He's not the best kicker in the NFL. He missed 4 kicks versus a Detroit game, and he missed one in the Vikings game last week, the last week of the season, but they still wound up to win the game anyway. But, that game was the most craziest game in most recent playoff history. Yeah, the Chiefs Titans game last year and all that, but I think this has to be the best playoff game, like Super Bowl 51. Super Bowl 51. That was a great, like that. You still count the Super Bowl as a playoff game, and that was one of the greatest too. And last year was Tennessee, best playoff game. Usually a wonderful game versus the Chiefs. They came back, and if no other crazy games happen, the Eagles, this will be the craziest game for this year. I just can't believe he missed that kick. It was just like, so, it was horrific for Cody Parkey, and it was just sad. It was a bad day for Chicago because it was the first time in the playoffs since, I think, 2010 when they played Green Bay. But it was just a sad loss for everyone in Chicago. I was watching a Giants fan stream. He was really mad, and he wasn't, like, going ballistic, but he was holding his head. He was, like, he wasn't really happy. So, from there, our matchups that I'll be posting, and this week I'm gonna be doing my Fortnite and stuff. But the matchups for the next games, you got Colts heading to Arrowhead. Chiefs and Colts. My prediction for that, Chiefs are gonna win. Mahomes, I understand he's a rookie quarterback in a way because it's his first year ever playing because Alex Smith was the guy last year. But Mahomes, I think he can get it done. His home crowd and all the players around him. You haven't lost anyone. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're major keys to that team. But Next matchup, you have got Dallas heading to LA. Not the Chargers, the Rams, I'm sorry. I think the Rams are gonna come out on that one. Dallas, you're going to LA, and after the last year's loss, the Falcons really took a pound on the Rams' status. I just think that who's it called? The Cowboys can't get it done because Prescott is the quarterback. You don't have your receivers you did last time you made the playoffs. You had Bryant. It just wasn't. Elliott was a different player. 2016, but I don't think they can get it done at LA. And compared to last year, you were 11-5 this year. Now you're 13-3 with a better record and better team. So see how that one plays out. And the matchups now the next two matchups. Philadelphia heading to New Orleans. I really don't believe Philadelphia can win that one in New Orleans because the game earlier in the year, that really set the tone on what the Saints were, beating a Super Bowl championship team by that many points. And I don't think they're gonna Foles. I don't think he's getting done because Breeze, how good his season's going and all that. So now moving on to the last and final game, and then I'll peace out until tomorrow, possibility. What was the matchup? Okay. Yeah. So we got the Chargers and we got the Patriots. I think the Patriots, it's just not their year. You went 11-5. You lost to Detroit. They are 6-10. You had that horrible loss to Miami. Who are the other losses too? No losses to the Jets or Bills. Think about this here. They had a loss to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh never made the playoffs. And then, let me think about this. That's all I can remember. But they were 11-5, and I think the Chargers are 12-4 or 13-3. But I think Rivers is mad because Brady has beat him so many times. Just my thing. So that's my predictions. Everyone have a good night. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Videos are not videos because I'm posting this one. Like gameplay and all that is coming this week, hopefully. And if I do it and I get it done, so can't wait till next week to clip up the playoffs with you. And see you guys. Peace out.